Brought to you by Penguin.
The Black Moth by Georgette Heyer. Read by Stewart Clarke. Prologue. Clad in his customary black and silver, with raven hair unpowdered and elaborately dressed, diamonds on his fingers and in his cravat, Hugh Tracy Clare Belnamoir, Duke of Andover, sat at the escritoire in the library of his townhouse writing. He wore no rouge on his face, the almost unnatural pallor of which seemed designedly enhanced by a patch set beneath his right eye. Brows and lashes were black, the former slanting slightly up at the corners, but his narrow, heavy-lidded eyes were green and strangely piercing. The thin lips curled a little, sneering, as one dead-white hand travelled to and fro across the paper. "But it seems that the fair lady has a brother, who, finding me enamoured, threw down the gauntlet. I soundly whipped the presumptuous child, and so the affair ends. Now, as you, my dear Frank, also took some interest in the lady, I write for the express purpose of informing you that at my hands she has received no hurt, nor is not like to. That I, in part, tell you, and you shall not imagine yourself in honour bound again to call me out, which purpose, and I mistake not, I yesterday read in your eyes. I should be exceeding loth to meet you in a second time, when I should consider it my duty to teach you an even severer lesson than before. This I am not wishful of doing, for the liking I bear you. So in all friendship, believe me, Frank, your most obedient, humble Devil." His Grace of Andover paused, pen held in mid-air, a mocking smile dawned in his eyes, and he wrote again. "In the event of any desire on your part to hazard your luck with my late paramour, permit me to warn you against the bantam brother, who is in very truth a fire-eater, and would wish to make of you as of me one mouthful. I shall hope to see you at the Queensberry rout on Thursday, when you may once more strive to direct mine erring footsteps on the thorny path of virtue." His Grace read the postscript through with another satisfied, sardonic smile. Then he folded the letter, and affixing a wafer, peremptorily struck the handbell at his side. And the Honourable Frank Fortescue, reading the postscript half an hour later, smiled too, but differently. Also he sighed, and put the letter into the fire. "And so ends another affair. I wonder if you'll go insolently to the very end," he said softly, watching the paper shrivel and flare up. "I would to God you might fall honestly in love, and that the lady might save you from yourself, my poor devil." Chapter 1. At the Chequers Inn, Fallowfield. Chadber was the name of the host, florid of countenance, portly of person, and of manner pompous and urbane. Solely within the walls of the Chequers lay his world, that inn having been acquired by his great-grandfather as far back as the year 1667, when the jovial Stewart king sat on the English throne, and the Hanoverian electors were not yet dreamed of. A Tory was Mr. Chadber to the backbone. None so bit against the little German as he, and surely none had looked forward more eagerly to the advent of the gallant Charles Edward. If he confined his patriotism to drinking success to Prince Charlie's campaign, who shall blame him? And if, when sundry Whig gentlemen halted at the Chequers on their way to the coast, and, calling for a bottle of Rhenish, bade him toss down a glass himself with a health to his Majesty, again, who shall blame Mr. Chadber for obeying? What was a health one way or another, when you had rendered active service to two of his Stuart Highness's adherents? It was Mr. Chadber's boast, uttered only to his admiring Tory neighbours, that he had, at the risk of his own life, given shelter to two fugitives on the disastrous 45, who had come so far out of their way as quiet Fallowfield. That no one had set eyes on either of the men was no reason for doubting an honest landlord's word. But no one would have thought of doubting any statement that Mr. Chadber might make. Mine host of the Chequers was a great personage in the town.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?